Five, four, three, two, one. Welcome back to the Fear Pitch Podcast. I'm your co-host Brian,
Yeah, how you doing?
Yo.
and that's Zay. It's been a minute, guys. It's been a minute. It's good to be back. How you guys feel, man?
Took the words out of my mouth, man. It's good to be back. Extended off season. It's back to putting in work.
Been a long time, man. Let's talk about these sports.
Talk about these sports, but first, let's recap a little bit. Let's recap. So, a few weeks ago, me and Zay went to Dallas. We went to the Ravens-Cowboys game. Arguably, in my opinion, one of the best football games to go see live in person. Zay, what'd you think about it?
Yeah, Jerry World's a great place. It was a good time. It was a good time. I think the Ravens traveled well also, so it was good. And then Ravens making it interesting at the end. We couldn't cash it in, so it was fun though.
I will say it was crazy just being in that stadium in general.
Facts.
I didn't realize the second you enter, it just opens up like that. That was crazy to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I did catch that first baseball game, guys. I was talking to you guys about it offline. Zay said it was crazy for there to be 7 home runs in a game.
Yeah, that's actually.
Yeah, that's not regular.
It doesn't happen in like regular baseball games. You usually see a bunch of ground ball outs and like 2 or 3 home runs, but he went to a great game. Great first game to go to.
You should consider going to more.
Well, we'll see. Maybe when I go, I'm in for a good show. They left a good first impression. Not gonna lie, it was good. I was like, okay, I get why people go to these. But
you
know,
to a Grizzly?
Of course, it's a baseball game. Gotta get you a glizzy, yo, for the one time.
Of
Glizzy
course,
is
it's
crazy.
insane.
When you go to a baseball game, you don't get a glizzy.
I haven't been to a baseball game.
I don't.
You're lying, Zay. You go to baseball games. You've never had a glizzy.
I literally
Never.
Nah, bro. I get something to drink and then I get like a pizza or something.
Zay be trying to look cool in front of the people, yo. He's
Like
capping,
fries. Yo. Oreos got these nice
I
crabby.
know, Zay. Zay's taking that glizzy to the dope.
They got crabby. They got crabby fries. Those shit's hard.
Crab fries, got you.
Those shit's good. Yeah, you can't catch me with no hot dog in public. That's a little crazy.
Say chestnut.
It's a little crazy.
Okay, but if you were in private, you would have took the glizzy.
I didn't eat it. I don't think I ate a hot dog for like 10 years.
Cab.
Hot dogs are not good. It's not good food.
Oh my goodness.
It's not good food, bro. Swear.
Do you believe what you're hearing right now, Dan?
Swear, bro. Like going to the market and buying a pack of hot dogs. That's like
Not even that cookout thing. You don't get no hot dogs.
I get burgers. Yo, I've been to cookouts. I eat burgers. We've been to cookouts. I eat burgers.
Oh man.
Eat burgers
Look
and
what
potato
society is
salad.
doing. Look what society is doing.
Burgers and potato salad, bro. We've been to cookouts.
Word.
Hey man, word is bond.
What Quainer? Ryan?
What you gotta say?
He go eat the hot dogs, yo. He okay.
Whoa, nah. Hold on. It was a one-time thing. It was a one-time thing. It was a baseball game. I was like, I'm gonna go to a baseball game. They always talk about hot dogs at baseball games. I ain't gonna lie, it was different than a regular hot dog. Like you could tell, like they've like dialed in the formula. You feel me?
You could have at least got like the Krabby Dog. They got a Krabby Dog down there too.
Krabby Dog is insane. You need.
Do I look like I'm about to spend $20-$30 on a hot dog?
You need to stop.
You go spend $20-$30.
What are you doing?
Regardless.
Bro, that's like a $30 hot dog.
No thanks.
Yeah, it is. It is.
No thanks, brother.
But let's get it into it, man. Let's get straight into it.
Wait, who won the baseball game? You should say you won. Who won? Who
played?
played?
Yeah. It was Orioles versus the Detroit Tigers. The Orioles won.
Yeah, Detroit sports are
Nah, they not
Except for the
trash.
Lions.
We trash.
Detroit sports are
We
pretty trash.
trash.
I
Shout out
think
to the
Detroit
O's.
won the next game.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
But all right, let's get into it. Dan, talk to me about some of this college football. What's going on?
Where to begin? Oh, Alabama. Okay, so I know last year I kind of slaughtered Jalen Milroe. I thought he was cooked. I might have been wrong. You know, he showed me something this year. I know they lost over the weekend, but when they played Georgia, and he was like a bona fide first round pick. I could really tell that he's been working on his game during the offseason. Prior to the loss against Vanderbilt, they played Georgia, like I said, and he threw for four. He had 491 yards of total offense and 4 TDs. They got the W, by the way, obviously. That was a very prime time, the Saturday before last. So that was a very telling testament to like his talent. So I was really much impressed, especially moving off of Nick Saban moving to Kalen DeBoer. So it's a new offense, a new culture in Alabama, and they still came out. They still came out on top. Unfortunately, they played Vanderbilt over the weekend and took a surprising L. But I think that was just one of those blips. I think on the grand scheme, they're gonna get it together and bounce back and have a pretty good season.
Well said, well said. Do you guys think that this Alabama team is a championship caliber team?
They could be.
Yeah. I think
They
when you
could
go to
be.
Alabama, you gotta always, you're always in the conversation. When you go to Alabama. It was basically like being Brady and Coach Belichick. You're always in the conversation. You're always in like the subject when the time comes.
One person of note is Ryan Williams, their wide receiver, the top recruit from the 24 class. He's been really showing himself.
Yeah.
Him and Jeremiah Smith at Ohio State are really putting their respective schools on the map. Very key components of both offenses, and he's been pretty much putting on the show throughout this entire season. He was SEC Freshman of the Week in his debut, and he's been taking that, and he's been building upon that. He had a game-winning touchdown against Georgia, and he's just been showing out throughout this season.
Yeah, he's like 17 years old. He's supposed to be in high school, but he's making plays at the #1 school in college football.
I don't know what you guys were doing at 17, but I was definitely in class, probably reading like Macbeth or something like that.
I think I was probably like, worried about college ads.
At 17, I was reminding myself I wasn't going to the league.
I was probably worried about college applications during that
Was
time.
that senior year of high school? Yeah, I was reading Hamlet.
I didn't even go to school senior year. I think I was in school for like 2 hours.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he got early release in high school. I got early release. Yeah, I went to school for like 1 period, then went home.
Wait, what is that? What is early release?
You go to school for like 1 period.
So some people had dual enrollment, some people had jobs. You might have a reduced period. You have a reduced schedule under the assumption that you're going to work or school. Some folks just went home. I had a one-up cart release. I took calculus instead of Spanish 4. Very good decision. Some people had 9:15 releases, so they would just show up for 1 period. Some people had 10:40 releases, so that's 2 periods, etc.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's wild because like the guidance counselor was like, "Oh, colleges don't like early release," so they were trying to get y'all to stay in school. I really think they were capping because I definitely could have had a reduced schedule. But hey,
wow, I did not know about that. Okay, that's what's up. But let's talk about Colorado. Talk to me, Dan.
Speaking of people shocking the world, man, Shador and Travis Hunter, I'll be honest with you, both of these human beings are not regular, especially that wide receiver quarterback phenom. I got a question for y'all before I even get into this game. Do y'all think he's obviously going to be a top 10, top 5 pick? Do you think he should enter the draft as a corner or as a DB? I mean, as a wide receiver, as a DB.
I honestly think. I think he can. I think he can do both, right? Because the workload it's it's very it's very low compared to college. Like there's not that many amount of snaps. You know, 'cause college is very fast. The NFL is very slow. You got huddles and stuff like that. But I think he should as a DB. I think he could do it. I think he can. It's possible he could. I think he could. You know, the snap count is low. Who he averaging right now? Like one something snaps?
Yeah, like 100 something snaps.
Yeah, you won't average that in the NFL. And if you do, you gonna have time to breathe. Cause what you got TV timeouts, you got huddle. Like it's a whole bunch of a time to rest. So I know.
Special teams too.
Yeah, but if he was gonna pick a side, I'd definitely go DB. I think he should go DB.
Why does he have to choose though? You feel me? I think that, like Zay's saying, he can do both. Like, just put it on there. DB slash wide receiver slash DB. Let him choose. And whatever team's going to draft him, they're going to know he has the talent to do both. So they can pick and choose where they want to put him. All right? Whether they have a special package on offense or they keep him full-time on defense or vice versa.
Yeah, I think if he has a couple select plays on offense, but I think he should hone his craft on one side of the ball. He's playing against grown men, like with kids. Like imagine lining up against who's the old head, like DeAndre Hopkins, and then going back on offense and lining up against Fajarius Sneed. But that's not regular behavior.
He's been playing against grown men, though. He was playing against Bo Nix last year.
Oh, please.
This nigga,
And they got walked down.
This guy said he was playing against Bo Nix last year.
And they got walked down.
You think Bro Nix is like 30 years old, bro?
Might as
He's
well
a
be.
geriatric QB, bro.
Bo Nix young, you know. He's a youngin.
It
Do you
does
guys think
sound like
Colorado's going to do anything this year?
they're gonna be exciting to watch, but outside of that, I don't have many expectations. That O-line is still not the greatest, and outside of Travis Hunter and Shador, I mean, hey,
And I think with the 12 team, it's 12-team playoffs now, right? 12-team playoffs. They doing decent, but you know, I don't think they're going. Once you go to them big schools like Texas, Alabama, just get hard, you know, because they play ball. They got lines. It's different type of football out there.
that part.
It is valid. Speaking of big team football, talk to us about Texas.
Those Texas dilemmas, man. Texas dilemmas. Question though, what y'all think about the Texas QB situation with Arch Manning and Ewers?
Quinn Ewers couldn't start at Ohio State. He ran from the smoke at Ohio State.
He sure if this will get Ohio
Yeah,
State.
he couldn't start over Colin McCord, and Colin McCord's at Syracuse now. So I mean, hey, I'm just saying, man, he couldn't start over Malik Murphy. I mean, Arch Manning can start over Malik Murphy. Malik Murphy's at Duke, so it's like it's weird because like I feel as though why are you transferring to worse schools if you're a quarterback in Division I football? I think if he's healthy, he should play.
Cool. Ewers?
Yeah, if he's
Yeah, I
healthy, he
think
should play.
absolutely. Yeah. But man, I've been balling, since he been hurt, he been balling. So I don't know.
If Arch Manning wasn't Arch Manning, do you think he'd be getting these reps?
Yeah. He's actually nice.
No,
You
I know he's nice, but should we give more PT over Quinn Ewers?
I mean, for the games he's played, I mean, I think it makes sense to keep him in until what's the penalty? Let me see that schedule. Texas who they play until they play. What they got next? They got Georgia coming up, and they also have Oklahoma coming up.
2 L's.
2 L's. Well, I think Texas is ranked number 1 in the power rankings now. Texas number 1.
Should be scrappy then. What do you think, Brian?
When I look at the Archie Manning and Ewers situation, you know, I don't like to use stats. I like to use the eye test, you know. And Archie Manning, he's looking like a bona fide Manning out there, you feel me? The same way that the other Mannings were those dudes in college, he's looking that same type of way. It's kind of just in his DNA. So outside of his name and things of that nature, when you really look at it, if anything, it's even more impressive that because he's a Manning and he has all that pressure on him to be great, that he's balling out like this. A lot of people crack under pressure, but hey, pressure forms diamonds sometimes. And I think Manning, he's probably going to stay in college another year after this. Ewers will probably go to the draft this year. And then we're really going to see full-on Manning take over football. And there's going to be something special going on next season. What that looks like and how it takes form is going to be interesting to see, especially in this current environment with NIL and different things of that nature. I feel like especially schools that can throw that money, the Miamis of the world and different things of that nature that can kind of fund and bankroll these players, it's going to lead to a different environment overall. Especially when you look at situations like, I think it's like the UNLV, like players stopped playing because they were promised NIL money by the team and they didn't get that money. So they're like, all right, I'm going to enter the transfer portal because this isn't 2003. You're not going to not pay me. You feel me?
Crazy. Pros before the pros. This shit is insane.
Steve Sarkisian, the coach of Texas, said that Quinn Ewers should be starting against Oklahoma, as he should. So,
All right, cool. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I just thought it made sense to have Arch play Oklahoma and Georgia since he was already in the rhythm with the guys, and then let everyone's come back and play Vanderbilt, then get back in the football before they play Florida. But you know, I think they win regardless.
Yeah, sounds like he's healthy. And even though the mocks, as of October 7th, Quinn Ewers is projected to go 15th to the Giants.
That'll be dangerous. That'll be good. That'll be good. I like that. Definitely like that.
Do you guys think it's like a bad idea to be switching between QBs like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think Skip Bayless said if you have two QBs, you have none.
Well said. But let's switch it up. Let's talk about some NFL. So, Monday Night Football. One thing's for sure. I didn't watch the game. I watched the highlights. I'm not going to lie to you. But after watching the highlights, I was even looking at it like, yo, do the Chiefs deserve to be a 5-0 team? Like, genuinely.
Yo, feel free to lie next time.
Bro. Chiefs gonna be the Chiefs, bro. You know? I mean, how long have we been watching the same show? 3 years? We watching the same show for 3 years. I mean, the Pack will find a way to win with or without pieces. So, you know, they could have lost every game they won. Well, not this one last night. This one last night looked a little better. But all the other ones previous to 4-0, look, they definitely could have lost even one of those games. So, you know, they could literally be 0-4. They can literally be 1-5 right now. 1-4 right now, but you know, instead they 5-0.
You always say mumbo sauce and ketchup. You know what's ever ketchup is in the aisles right now? Hunt's ketchup.
Guy is crazy.
Just trying to tell you, man. But like, how much? Like, what do you need to see? First of all, I don't feel like talking about the Chiefs during the regular season, because who cares? It's the regular season. We already know that the AFC Championship is the Patrick Mahomes Invitational until further notice.
Yeah, we know that. We know. It's just we just gotta find out who's the other team that's gonna be there. You know,
Yeah,
who's the other team in the AFC that's gonna be there? Because we already know the Patrick Mahomes is gonna be there.
Yeah,
it goes through Kansas City.
It's not even like really. He didn't even throw a touchdown last night. He threw a pick, and he still won.
I think he's thrown 6 touchdowns and 6 interceptions, and he's 5-0. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it really wants to Kansas City. I don't think no one there has dethroned him yet. Only guy that has gotten closer is Joe Burrow. And his team is what, 0-5, 1-4. Yeah.
They dominated time of possession. They dominated on the ground. and they won the game. It's pretty simple.
I think the biggest thing that I see, and then people keep coming back to, is it feels like the refs are heavily favoring the Chiefs whenever the Chiefs play, and calls that you would typically get, like I saw like easily 2 pass interference calls on the Chiefs defense that for like a chunk like 40, 30 yards that just didn't get called. But the second somebody even like breathes on a Chiefs wide receiver, I think it was like Xavier Worthy, he didn't even grab his jersey. He just touched him, right? Pass interference.
I have 2 words for you.
That's the game you play, bro. That's the game you play, bro. You go to Kansas City.
I had 2 different. I had 2 different pairs of words for you. You want option 1 or option 2?
Option 2.
Meal ticket.
Yeah, you go play Kansas City. You gotta play by their rules, bro. You know,
Meal ticket.
especially when Taylor Swift is in the box. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not worried about her. But 15 puts butts in seats.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Swift put butts in seats too.
No comment.
But let's talk about this Atlanta game. I can't believe what Kirk Cousins is doing in Atlanta. When you really look at it, 509 yards of total offense. He was slinging it. And I have a theory. I like to call this the Kirk Cousins theory. Kirk Cousins, like, when he plays for a team that is in a predominantly black area, he starts to feel like he's at home, you know. He throws on his chains, and all of a sudden he becomes a QB, like a serious QB. We saw flashes of it in Washington when he was in D.C., and he's over here in Atlanta swag surfing. I think Kirk Cousins is a man of the people. He's similar to, what's his name? Was it Eli? Was Eli the one who played for the Giants?
Yeah, that was Eli. Yeah.
Similar to Eli Manning. Eli Manning was also a man of the people in New York. You would see it sometimes. Just a complete dude, you know? And you saw it in this game. Gunslinging and then turning up. That's what he's all about.
Yeah. Like Kurt, yeah. Kurt is he's that guy, 500 yards. He had 500 yards. He had 500 yards 4 touchdowns. Something crazy. If you had him in fantasy, you won that game. If you had him in fantasy, you won that week for sure. If you had him and Mooney or London, you won that week. That was a great week for them guys. But, you know. But when I watched the game, all I thought about was the overtime rules. I think you should change the overtime rules because it was a shootout. It was literally a shootout. And Baker never had the chance to get the ball. I think Baker gets the ball. He goes out there and score. I think it should be college format. Overtime rules, bro. Because there's no reason the other team doesn't get the ball.
Where to begin? I mean, I disagree with I think the overtime rules in the regular season and the overtime rules in the playoffs, they should be different, and I'm glad they are. But outside of that, I mean, hey, play better defense. If y'all give up Tyler Bowles allowed the Falcons to put up 36 points. And Tyler Bowles is supposed to be this defensive steward. So I didn't see much defense on either side of the ball in this game. But outside of that, I mean, when you let somebody gas you for 509, they couldn't run the ball that well. I mean, Bijan averaged 5 yards a carry, but if you take away his 28-yard carry, the average will drop down significantly. 58 pass attempts is absurd.
58.
He threw the ball 58 times. It's absurd.
Wicked stuff.
But yeah, we finally got the Drake London breakout. We finally got the Darnell Mooney breakout. And Kyle Pitts looked like he had life in him again. So
Thank you.
that's promising.
Fantasy. I got one fantasy. Puts 0 points up
I'm
every
worried
week.
about Young Boy Cool. He missed 2 kicks. I know they won the game and all, but he missed 2 field goals before. He's supposed to be one of the best kickers in the league.
Everybody can't be Brandon now. Everybody can't be Aubrey, man. You know,
Please.
these kickers are good, but everybody can't be Aubrey.
Didn't Aubrey miss a kick this week? Am I tripping?
No, he got his kick blocked. It was not a miss.
Well, cool got a kick blocked too. I think he got 2 kicks blocked.
We ain't talking about shanking left like Justin Tucker. We ain't talking about shit. We not talking about stuff like that. We talking about
Oh, brother.
making kicks.
Oh,
You trying to disrespect the best kicker of all time?
Talk about right now. Cause we all know what the best kicker of right now is. We know what the best kicker of
Man.
right now today.
Let's see if it
'Cause
lasts.
you
It's
got-
about
if
longevity.
you had to win the game right now today by a field goal plus 50 yards, I get a 58 yarder. Who you putting out there?
JT every time.
Kaimi Fairbairn.
This guy's like everyone is putting
JT every time.
Brandon Aubrey. This go ahead and make a
JT hit a
post
field
and
goal.
post it on the ground and I put what is it? Put Justin Tucker, Aubrey, and who else?
Fairbairn.
Fairbairn, and see who clicked the most. I promise.
Listen,
Any logical sports person will put Brandon Aubrey.
You know what's
Listen,
crazy
listen,
about that overtime game? So Drake London, he caught the first 2 passes because Atlanta scored immediately, pretty much. Drake London caught the first 2 passes, and then I think he got shooken up, so he had to miss a play. And the very next play, Kadero Hodge, with the wide receiver 5, took something to the crib.
Took it to the crib.
So I was just saying,
Outran
that's
like
one
3
of those
people.
that helps no one. Remember that on NFL Network? Remember that helps because I'm sure maybe 2% of the country had Kadir Hodge in their starting lineups, and he ended up getting the game-winning touchdown.
Took it to the crib.
I believe that. I mean, listen, when you look at this game and it's all right, one thing's for sure. The issue wasn't the overall program in Atlanta. It was who they had at QB. It's clear that they have the players, and it's clear that they have the players with who they have. Desmond Ridder, is that who they had?
Yeah.
And Taylor Heineke.
And Taylor Heineke. Like, they have studs on that team, right? They have guys who can really ball and play football. They have a solid defense for the most part. And what the Falcons are, are they 3-2?
Yeah, I think they're 3-2. Yeah. They should be 3-2. Yeah.
Yeah, they're 3-2, top of the division.
Right. Top of their division for the first time in how many years? And it's because of piss poor QB play since Ryan, what's his name?
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan.
Since Matt Ryan. But yeah.
I believe Matt Ryan was recently inducted into the Ring of Fame, if I'm not mistaken.
He got inducted that night, and then Kirk broke his all season his single game season passing record. That night he got inducted, he broke his record.
I like that. Kirk Cobain. That is tough. That is tough, yo. Yo.
Yeah, he was in the Ring of Honor, and then Kirk Cousins threw for 500 plus yards, broke his record, as they said.
Guys, can't forget the most important part. He started swag surfing with the crowd.
Yeah, he's tough. He's tough.
Nah, but on a serious note, the Falcons are going to be something serious to see in the future. I'm not going to lie. But because the Buccaneers are nothing to laugh at, too. Right. I'm saying the Buccaneers are nothing to laugh at either. The Bucs are like they're a playoff team right now. Absolutely. I would say that they're going to make it to the playoffs, and the Falcons are looking like they're on pace too if they keep playing like this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they both are playoff teams, honestly, for sure.
Then what were you about to say?
For sure.
Baker Mayfield, even though they took the L, he played pretty well in my opinion. I believe he only threw for 180 yards, but he had a very high completion percentage, and he threw 3 touchdowns. And he had 42 rushing yards, 7 yards a carry. So it was looking pretty good. He looked pretty good.
Yeah, Baker's tough, bro. Baker's one of those guys who he got a dog. One of them few QBs still got a dog in him. He brings stuff his way. Whatever team he's on, it doesn't matter. He wants to win. Yeah.
Absolutely. But let's get into this weekly recap, man. What were your guys' game of the week for week 5?
So, call me weird, but I watched the Giants Seahawks game, and I was impressed. I was thoroughly impressed. Honestly, part of the reason why I watched is because I wanted to scout the rookie, Tyrone Tracy Jr. He was like a 5th-year senior coming out of Iowa, but he like changed positions like 3 times. He went from like running back to wide receiver and back to running back or something like that. And now he's like a full-time running back, and he looked pretty good. He looked solid. He was in the timeshare with Eric Gray. Started. Devin Singletary was out with the injury. Eric Gray fumbled like at the goal line, and then from there, Coach Devo was like, "Yeah, Tyrone Tracy, it's all you." And he averaged 7 yards a carry. Well, that's not chump at all. He looked very, very solid. And then unfortunately, he wasn't really featured in the passing game as much as I thought he would be. But yet, 7 yards a carry, like I said, very solid. Daniel Jones, with that in the absence of Malik Neighbors, he still was able to utilize Darius Slayton as his number one option, and he looked pretty solid. I think last year was just a down year, especially with the injury and what have you. I think he's gonna bounce back this year and show some flashes of that 22 season that many people were calling fluke, even me. But I think he's showing that he can still play to that caliber. Yeah, just overall, the Giants' defense is actually very, very solid. They currently lead the NFL with the most sacks, and Geno Smith loves to hold on to the ball for 90 years. So that's just a recipe for success. That's just a recipe for success for that defense. And yeah, they came on top.
Thanks. My game. That Sunday night primetime game, Dallas versus the Steelers. It was postponed. Hour and 45 minutes. Started at 9:45. Took us into the next day. Took us into early Monday morning. But it was a thriller. It was a thriller. I would say it was very boring, right? It was very boring at the beginning. It was going into half. It was what 6-3, 10-3, but fourth quarter was fine. Fourth quarter was fine. Dak Prescott got when you gotta have it. Gotta have it. 15-play drive, touchdown. Basically a walk-off touchdown to win the game. When you gotta have it, he's gonna get you there. He basically turned into Bane. You know what I'm saying? Gotta do what he gotta do. They had CD. CD had an okay game, but it was basically Tolbert, Dak, Jake game type thing. You gotta have it. Dak is basically Mr. Primetime. When he's on primetime, he wins. When he's in primetime, he just wins. That's what it's about. He's in company. I'm just telling you. When he's on primetime, he's in company of like the guys like Joe Montana. Pat Mahomes does. We have 1% in primetime.
No, there's a stat.
That's a stat. Pat Mahomes live up there was still winning in primetime. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
it plays. But like I say, man, 12 wins January. That's it.
Don't let us sneak into the playoffs hot. Yeah. Don't let us sneak in there hot, man.
Yeah, he has a 70. He has a with Patrick Mahomes win last night. Dak, Joe Montana, Steve Young, and Mahomes and Peyton are the only QBs with a win percentage in prime time of above 70%. 70% or better.
It's hard to win, man. Especially when everybody watching you. There's no other games on. It's just you and the people. But yeah, that was a must win for Dak. I know. You know what I'm saying? You have to win the bad games. You have to win the bad games because you're the best player on the field.
Definitely say when looking at that game, I'm not going to lie. I was surprised that on that 4th down, Dak threw the touchdown. I'm not going to lie. I thought you guys were going to fold. That was very surprising to me.
I always had the faith. Because he got the fumble on the 2nd down. He got the fumble, Any other QB would let the ball sit there. Dak was like, nah. Threw his whole body on the you know what I'm saying? It's a must win.
Because the real thing about the Steelers is their defense, right? Because if you look at it, total offense, the Cowboys had 445 yards. The Steelers had 226 yards. It was a 3-point game, which is kind of crazy to think about. So it was because the Steelers were able to force guys have those long drives. They stop you before the red zone. They get those 2 picks. That's why it was close. And who knows, if there wasn't a thunderstorm, it may have been a completely different story. Like you said, Zay, it was delayed an hour and 45 minutes. But Dak did show that he can persevere. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does in the coming weeks. I'm interested to see how you guys fare in the NFC East, especially because I'm not going to lie, it's looking more competitive than it usually does this time of year.
85. And that's really it, though. Nobody worry about the Eagles. Nobody worry about those guys.
Hey, don't count them out too soon. It's only week 6.
It's really week 6 of football. Jeez. It's crazy.
But let me
What's
tell
your
you guys
game of
about
the
my
week,
game of the week. Let me tell you about my game of the week. My game of the week is the Ravens versus Bengals. If you guys look up the highlights, probably the longest highlight video you'll see from this week. I think it was like 20, 22 minutes, something like that. It was an absolute nail-biter. Back and forth, gunslinging. Salute to Joe Burrow. He had 5 tugs, 1 pick. He did everything that he was supposed to do, but sorry, it just wasn't his game to win. The Ravens, ultimately, we went away from rushing a lot in this game, kind of because we had to. But when it came down to it, especially in overtime, after the fumble and then the missed field goal by the Bengals, we stayed tried and true. Under center snap, give the ball to Derrick Henry. He runs 55 yards, kick the field goal with Justin Tucker, win the game. Ultimately, when I look at the game, I don't think that the Bengals are a bad football team, even though they're 1-4. I think that the issue for the Bengals is not even necessarily their offensive scheming, it's their defense. Their defense is very lackluster. And I'm not going to lie, the Ravens' defense hasn't been the best either so far. That's why it was a nail-biter. But
I honestly think
we have a new defensive coordinator. Things are coming together. And the only team that can beat the Ravens is the Ravens. We saw this in the AFC Championship. We didn't know who we were. We rushed the ball 7 times, even though we'd rushed the ball over 30 times in every game that we won. And I'm glad that we know tried and true, put the ball on the ground when it counts so that we can have that separation to air it out. And if we stick with that formula, I think that this will be our year.
I honestly think the Bengals and the Ravens are the same people. Terrible defenses, great offenses, you know? Because that was really the Bengals' game to lose. You watch the game. Lamar fumbles. The Bengals get it at what? Their own 50. They get it at the 50. They think they got it at the 48. Like, y'all 48, right? They do 3 run plays, which I didn't think was great. I think you got one of the best QBs. You put it in his hands, you get 2 more yards, right? They kicked what, a 52-yard field goal. The snapper missed the whole. They missed the kick. Then you got Derrick Henry runs 100 yards. Just took it for the kick. So, it was really that game to lose. I think they're one and the same. Each team got cooked in the secondary. Really don't have a good secondary, strong secondary to really had no competition with these elite core groups. But it was a shootout. It was a fun game to watch.
Dan, you look like you had some thoughts over there.
I feel like I've said it a few times. Like, the Bengals don't move me. They just don't. They don't. I'm sorry. I think the media, I think the general public gets enamored with the spectacle or the perceived spectacle of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. They're still great. They're still box office, but that team sucks. I'm I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. They're not that good.
Good, bro. They're good. I mean, they're like basically the same team, honestly. You know, well, I think Jamal Chase had like what, 2 tuds, then almost 200 yards. 2 tuds, almost 200 yards.
Yeah, Jamar Chase is still Jamar Chase. I'm not denying that.
T Higgins, what? T Higgins had
even
a tud and almost what, 150,
yeah,
something like
even
that.
T Higgins showed some life, but like
So you can't let your secondary get cooked like that, especially when you play football in January. It's very hard.
Let's see if Zay still views them as the same teams when the Bengals play the Cowboys December 9th.
I
If the
think they
Bengals
tough.
beat the Cowboys, if the
I
Bengals
think
beat
they
the
tough. I don't
Cowboys,
know.
then I'll accept the comparison a little bit. But do you think that the Bengals can beat the Cowboys?
You know, Cowboys are now underdogs in every game they play. Hey, you know what's that? We're
Oh,
underdogs in every game.
brother.
what?
We're underdogs in
What?
every game we play.
Oh brother.
Every game we play for the rest of the season, we're underdogs. You know,
Who told you
it's
that?
just that's the odds. That's like that's what it is. We're underdogs in every game we play this year.
That's gonna update, I'm sure.
It's just it's really we ain't really got that good supporting cast, so we really is out there playing gritty football. That gotta show you why you paid him $60 million a year. And that's just what it is. That's like what I'm saying.
As a Cowboys fan, do you regret not picking up Derrick Henry when he wanted to go to Dallas?
I mean, for sure. But I mean, we had to pay Dak and CD. I mean, you really don't get those nowhere else. So I mean, you gotta work with what's due. You gotta work with what you got. But I do regret, Derrick Henry. You see him. He's a game changer when you use him the right way. So, yeah.
I'll let you guys know I picked up Derrick Henry in every single one of my fantasy teams. Yeah, I already knew what it was gonna be. But Dan, talk to us about what's going on with Bryce Young.
He's cooked, brother. Like I think I said this before. I don't know why the Panthers drafted Bryce Young over CJ Stroud when their head coach is Frank Reich. And now it's like, all right, cool. So maybe it's coaching. So they got Dave Canales, and Dave Canales benches the guy for Andy Dalton, and Andy Dalton looks like a competent QB. So it has to be you, man. Like if you see him on the bench, he looks lifeless out there.
No, I honestly think it's just you go to Carolina. I think you just go there to fail, basically.
I would
Look at
agree with you if I didn't just see Andy Dalton look like a competent QB.
But that was one game, right? It was only one game.
It was a night and day difference.
But I mean, you look at the QBs that been there. Baker went there. Look what he's doing now with the Bucks.
Fair.
Sam Donald. You see what Sam Donald is doing?
That's a good point.
Sam Donald is literally an MVP front runner. I think the Panthers organization is just, some organizations just not for you. And I think Bryce can go somewhere else and probably play. Go to the Broncos. Let's see how that works out.
Broncos is locked in with Bo Nix. That's not even a smart business plan for him. He needs to go somewhere where he can develop behind like a seasoned QB, really take the time, and then come back. Probably somewhere like.
He's done. I'm sorry.
You think his career's over?
I don't really think there's nowhere for him to go though. Like because this class of QBs they're actually a better class of QBs. The class that's coming in.
I think he would not be a full-time starter anytime soon.
Especially with this class coming up, is just better QBs in the class.
There were already considerations for trade packages, so I'm sure he's gonna get moved. And yeah,
I could see him going to the Buccaneers or the Bills to be a backup QB, play behind somebody, learn from them. Baker Mayfield, especially him being a first overall pick, he'll probably help keep his morale high. He had the same type of bad situation. His situation wasn't as bad as Bryce Young's, but with the Panthers. But the Browns was pretty bad situation, I feel like if he went somewhere like the Buccaneers, he could learn from him, learn how to pivot. Because Baker went to 4 teams before he got to Tampa Bay and started really showing that he's Baker Mayfield again.
Well, 3, 3, not 4, 3.
3? Because he went to This is 4th team. He went to the. He was on the
Browns. He went from the
Panthers,
Browns.
Browns,
Came to the
Rams.
Panthers, went to the Rams.
Panthers, Rams, Bucks.
Yeah, so this is 4th team. Am I tripping?
4th team, yeah.
What do you guys think the y'all 2 early MVP candidates are?
Lamar Demetrius Jackson.
Said who?
Lamar Demetrius Jackson.
Who else?
Lamar Demetrius Jackson.
Probably have to say if I'm not gonna pick Lamar, I'd have to go that guy at the Bills. Bills QB, what's his name?
The one that lost
Josh
to
Allen.
CJ Stroud? Yeah, you mean the one that lost to CJ Stroud? Okay.
You said
mean-
Josh Allen?
So,
2.
Lamar Jackson.
Do y'all
CJ
not know
Stroud.
like JD5, Sam Donald?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lamar Jackson, CJ Stroud, Sam Darnold. Those are my 3.
Wait, why not Jaden Daniels? Are you trying to separate yourself from your franchise now that they're
play
good?
Trump defenses. He's cooking though. I like what I'm seeing from him. He definitely like offensive rookie of the year is padlocked. Like that's it. Gift wrapped. But yeah, Lamar
I think it's
Jackson, CJ Stroud, Sam Darnold.
I think it's Sam Donald right now. He's 5-0 with the Vikings. Yeah. No one ever was like, "Oh, the Vikings gonna be nice this year." Let's all be serious.
I did.
Let's all be serious. No one said him. Like, the Vikings were tough.
I did. Watch the reel. It's posted. I did.
See, I will look at it, but yeah, I think it's Sam
posted.
Donald. I think it's Sam Donald. Yeah, I think it's Sam Donald.
I mean, when you look at the Vikings, right? Are they good because of Sam Darnold? Are they good because of the defensive mastermind they have over there at defensive coordinator, who's kind of been blackballed from head coach positions?
Yeah, Brian Flores is a genius.
Like that, also outscoring their opponents.
Yeah, it's twofold. It's like there's putting the circle in the circle hole, and then there's like actually diving up a fire offense. They're doing both, and then Brian Flores is holding it down on defense.
It's true. I mean, when you look at it, like, I'm looking at it against their opponents. What they held the Texans to 7 points, 49ers to 17, Giants to 6. That defense is something serious, and even against like teams where they have like absolute gunslingers like the Packers, yeah, they only edged them out, but still, that defense is something to be revered. But what do you guys think about the Bills? Do you guys think that the Bills lack talent?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. Especially after watching Texas versus Bills game. I just think, Josh Allen needed that number 1 wide receiver like a Stephon Diggs to hit the next level. Just like Diggs did that number 1 QB to his next level. You know what I'm saying? And without Diggs, you really got no one that can really step up and be that, that Stephon Diggs, that CD, that JJ, that Jamar Chase type guy. I think he was needing, because Shakur has stepped up since Diggs has left, but he's not like going crazy. He's also injured, so it's like, And then Coleman, he's been dropping everything that throws to him. He been dropping everything that gets the ball. So I don't know. I think they lack talent. I think that's going to catch up to him very quickly. I think it's already catching up to him. Honestly,
I mean, one thing is, I think as Keon Coleman develops, he'll be their new number 1 guy in the future. But one thing's for sure, I saw something. It was, I think it was Josh Allen kind of throwing shots. It's like, yeah, now that we're really a team, there's nobody who's really like a diva type of thing. He was saying to the media. I was like, dang, do they really not like Stephon Diggs that much? Like, I feel like he played good football for them. Yeah, there may have been like a personality mismatch in the locker room, but that Josh Allen to Stephon Diggs, even in Madden, it was a cheat code for a few years.
facts.
People don't like emotion, except if you look like certain people, if If you look like certain people, if you play certain positions, and emotion is all fine. If you don't look like certain people, you're being a diva. Simple.
Valid. That's valid. But let's talk about Dan. Talk to me about Brett Favre. What's going on with Brett Favre?
So he's like facing some legal issues because of defrauding the state of Mississippi. There's a lot going on with that. But during his trial, he divulged the fact that he has Parkinson's. I'm not sure the severity of it, but yeah, during his hearing last month, he said that he had Parkinson's diagnosis, and I'm sure he's looking for sympathy from the judge, if I'm not mistaken. This could be a byproduct of his long career with concussions and what have you. But yeah, I just thought it was pretty crazy that he made that. Well, I found it pretty crazy that like he was dealing with that. Prayers to him. I hope he gets the treatment he needs. But yeah, I just want to hear your thoughts on it.
I mean, it's unfortunate that he got Parkinson's disease. I hope he deals with that well, long term. I know it's a neurodegenerative and it's going to get worse progressively over time. Now, probably the effects of it are mild, but I'm sure he knows he has to get the right support team around himself, and make sure he's taking really good care of himself because it can get bad. But I'm wishing all support for him, prayers to him, that he does better.
He said that he noticed, for sure, he said he noticed that his right arm began getting stuck, and he struggled with tasks such as holding a screwdriver and putting on a jacket. And he found it difficult to control his movements. He mentioned that the doctors suspect, like I said, the condition may be tied to the number of hits and things of that nature.
The prayers up to him. Hopefully he gets better. I hope he gets better. But let me talk to you guys about something that's really been it's kind of been grinding my gears about the NFL a little bit. Here's my issue with the NFL. A QB is labeled a bust way too quickly. You give him 1 to 2 seasons, he doesn't produce anything, he's a bust. But it'll either be a guy that was on a team that just won the college football playoffs, they either won the Heisman or they did something spectacular in college. So clearly we know these guys have talent. It's not an issue to me of, their play style just doesn't translate or this guy can't all of a sudden play football. I think too much gets thrown at the QBs versus we got to look at these franchises. Even if you give somebody a star-studded QB, if the franchise can't put the right pieces around them, can't cater to their play style, you're still not going to win, right? Let's look at the examples even so far. You have the resurgences of Sam Darnold, 5-0. Andy Dalton, he's starting for the Panthers now. Malik Willis, he was doing his thing for the Packers while Jordan Love was injured. And then Baker Mayfield as well. Geno Smith, Justin Fields. Can I even say any more? Like, these are guys that were cast away from their initial teams, maybe even their second teams, and they're playing good football now because when you put a good system around a QB that has talent, you're going to see results.
Most times, yeah. I'm with you.
Most times, I feel you. Most times, yeah, I think they are. Maybe would have bust way too quickly, but I think you only can really be named with a bust if you were like a 1 through 3 overall pick.
If you go top 12 and you don't produce, sure, you're a bust.
For me, I
Even
just
top 15, honestly.
only think people that want like number one. So the Baker argument, like him being a bust, I never thought Baker was a bust because he just went to a poverty franchise instantly. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I mean, you're bound to do that if you're a top pick. You're gonna go to a trash team.
yeah, this is which is crazy. It's crazy.
Like, even now, I know there's murmurs that Trevor Lawrence is a bust.
That's a tricky one. He won a playoff game. He's not a bust. I'm sorry. He's shown that he can play football in this league. I think the term is used pretty loosely. I think people's expectations vary depending on who's getting drafted. But yeah, it's a conversation that can't be covered in like one episode. This is something I'm going to be tackling throughout the season, like the term draft bust, and what that like. Trey Lance is a bust. He's sorry.
He's
not.
a
But
bust.
is he though?
Yeah,
But is he
Yes.
though?
He's sorry.
He went to one of the best systems in the league and
He's
couldn't play
solid.
QB.
Yeah.
But the
You let-
thing is, right? Even if you go to one of the best teams and best systems, if they're not actively helping to coach you and develop you, I think Mike Tomlinson said it best. He said he hates coaches that aren't trying to coach. They just want a player to just be good as is. You're not trying to mold a player. Like, look at Justin Fields and what he's doing for Pittsburgh.
I think
He's
Brian
not
don't know
sorry.
who the coach
Trey
of the
Lance wasn't
49ers are.
sorry. But
Do you not know who the coach of the 49ers are?
okay, but if the player you have doesn't automatically fit your system, are you going to adapt and shape your system to make sure that player succeeds? Or are you going to be like, well, this guy's an oval, not a circle, so it's not going to work?
Do you understand? They traded up in that draft
They traded to get Trey
and handpicked them.
and gave him the best system possible. I don't think you understand Kyle Shanahan's tree goes. The Shanahan's tree goes. I think it's like at least like how many teams? 32 teams. I think at least like 15 of them has a Shanahan came from Shanahan's tree, bro. And they're like head coaches.
Some capacity, yes.
He's
I think so.
He's one of the best coaches out there. He made Mr. Irrelevant. Mr. Irrelevant. He was damn near MVP last season. He was literally almost an MVP last season. The system was there for Trey Lance, and I think if Baker Mayfield was to get drafted number one overall to the 49ers, I literally don't see why he doesn't have an MVP. I literally don't see why he doesn't win a Super Bowl.
It's very much a plug and play system, as you can see with Brock Purdy, the last pick in the draft.
Don't
It's plug and
discount
play.
Brock Purdy now. Brock Purdy is one of them guys.
He was
He was the last pick in the draft.
263rd overall.
Like no one knew what college he went to. No one knew where Trey Lance go.
North Dakota State, the same college as Carson Wentz and
Oh no, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
and,
Like if Mr. Irrelevant,
Christian Watson.
if Shanahan can make Mr. A competent and good QB, then I don't see why Trey Lance couldn't do good. And even when the Dallas stupidly attained him in preseason, he threw like 6 picks.
Isn't he QB3 in Dallas?
Exactly.
He's sorry.
He's garbage. Like he threw 6 picks. He's
He's
like-
sorry. That's a draft bust.
like he's actually like he's actually bad.
Listen, all I'm saying is I won't be surprised if in a few years you see like a Trey Lance resurgence. So Trey Lance is
I
one
actually
of them
promise
guys.
you. I actually would bet like $1 billion that probably would never
in
happen.
the
Like actually.
CFL.
I honestly think like
Sure.
he might go to the Canadian
Okay.
Football League. Like
I'll see Trey Lance in Saskatchewan playing with the CFL.
Okay, Dan, talk to us about this too high safety defense. What's going on with this?
Y'all the one that play football. Both of y'all play defense. Y'all know what 2 high safety is. Basically, Mel Kiper believes that quarterbacks have a tougher time throwing the football, so he thinks that playing cover 2 should be outlawed. And I think that is the stupidest thing I ever heard a
That's so
professional say.
but that's
And I
what makes
will-
a good QB, man. You gotta be able to
Like,
dissect.
you can put my name on that. I'm Dan from the Fewer Pitch Podcast, and I think that opinion is very ridiculous. Like, as a grown man, you think we should stop playing cover 2?
Crazy.
That's idiotic.
If you can't go to the line and do your cadence and examine the field and see that they're in the cover 2, then you shouldn't be a QB in the National Football League.
Time out. Y'all the one that play defense. Y'all should have more to say about this than I do. What do you think about playing cover 2? It's a staple. Like you.
I think it's a great coverage. You can run cover 2, you can run a man out of cover 2, you go in zone, you can blitz out of it. You know, it's a good defense. You know, it's
Like,
split.
I don't know. Ban cover 2. You shouldn't have 2 high safeties. That's ridiculous. Are you a child?
It's also easy to beat. You know, you can just if you're a good
Go
QB,
underneath.
if you go underneath, you can split the two safeties right in half, hit a deep post. But you know, if you're a good QB, you'll do that. You know, that's what a good QB do type thing. So
Post routes, drag routes, screens. I can't throw corner routes. Oh no! Like what? What are we doing?
My thing is, if as a QB you can't beat a particular type of defense, that's just a deficiency and weakness that you have. You need to develop that because cover 2 isn't unbeatable. Every defense is beatable. There's always a hole, right? There's an even number of men on both sides of the ball. So if you can't beat cover 2, it's not the defense's fault. Next thing they're going to be like, oh, cover 3 is bad. Cover 6 is bad. Oh, take away free safety blitzes. You know, it's a snowball effect. They're going to start saying that everything is bad. So the defense is going to scheme the same way the offense schemes. So it's up to not only the QB, but the offensive coordinators to put QBs in the right position and to have that right preparation and training to get those players to where they need to be.
Like they've been running coverage since the 50s.
cover two was some. It's some D coordinators like bread and butter. Like they're gonna live and die by cover 2. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
They're gonna live and die.
why in the world would you think to ban a? First of all, why would you ban that? A legal formation on defense is bananas. But hey, I just think that was some of the dumbest opinions I've heard in sports. Banning cover 2. Are you well?
But let's just jump into. Okay, go ahead.
Don't hit me with the. I'm really not a fan. Still not a fan of Caleb Williams or any of these rookie QBs. Honestly,
Yeah,
really? Why?
I'm not a fan. I don't know. Caleb Williams. You know, cause we just talked about the bus thing. You just talked about the bus thing. It was very too early to that. It's very early for that. But you know, he went number 1 overall to the Bears. I really don't. You know, he doesn't give me the same feel as a JD5, and he went to a better situation than JD5 has.
He has a worse offensive coordinator.
He literally has a Pro Bowler at every position in his offense.
Oh, easy. Cole Kmet is over.
You got DJ Keenan, like you got Cole Kmet. Like I mean, I really not feeling him. I think he's finding his fitting now. But who he just played? He played the Panthers. Like
yeah, it's a gimme.
You know, Bo Nix. I like Bo Nix. Bo Nix is chill. That's because I got favoritism in Bo Nix, but yeah, only rookie that's really doing good is Jaden Daniels.
So how long does a QB have to play well for it to be a consensus that okay, this guy is actually good? This isn't just like a flashbulb thing.
Give me 8 games. Give me 8 games.
Does he have to win or does he have to play well? Because there's a rabbit hole here.
Just give me 8 games of playing
it's up
well.
To you. Do you base it off of the QB winning or do you base it off of the QB playing well?
No, because I mean everybody's favorite loser when he was a rookie, he played pretty well. He just didn't win that much. So
who's everybody's favorite loser for the people who don't know?
If you don't know, you don't know. I'm not saying his name. If you don't know, you don't know. Zay knows.
It's Dan's favorite QB.
Yeah,
everybody knows Dan's favorite QB,
everybody's favorite loser. If you don't know, you don't know. But hey, he's talented.
Dan's favorite QB, bro.
You talking about the Chargers?
Yeah, it's all that.
Anyway, my point is, Shane Waldron is not it. Like he's very bad at coaching of an offense. So he'll be out of here soon. So until they
Justin Herbert for the people who didn't know. Sorry, for the new people.
New people that's here. That is Dan's favorite QB. So if he ever tells you it's not, he's lying. And he's also a Commander fan.
Facts.
This is the case. It's the case.
Chargers and Commanders.
Two negatives. Two negatives. Don't make a positive. My point is, I think Shane Waldron is ruining that man's growth as a professional quarterback. So hopefully they get a better OC in there. But he looked pretty good on Sunday. threw for 300 yards, had 2 TDs. So yeah, pretty solid.
I bet. Let's get into these week 6 predictions. First and foremost, let's start with y'all's games of the week. What were y'all games of the week this week for week 6? What do you guys think is good?
So next week, I think.
This upcoming week?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think for me it's the Lions Cowboys. I think the Lions Cowboys is gonna be a good 4 o'clock game, 4:05 game, rematch of last year. I think it's gonna be a good game. What about you?
I think the Ravens Commanders is going to be the game of the week. Battle of the DMV.
Battle of the Beltway. Battle of the Beltway. You
Battle
know,
of the Beltway.
It's giving me Orioles versus Washington Nats vibes. That's what it gives. Yeah. Battle of the Beltway. How about you, Dan?
Oh, this Giants Bengals game on Sunday night. I'm looking forward to it. I think both of these teams desperately need to win, so it should be dope. And you get Neighbors versus Jamar, so we're gonna see who the better LSU wideout is on primetime football. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. But let's get into what you guys think is going to happen in these games. All right, 49ers Seahawks, who you guys taking?
Got San Fran.
Seahawks.
I'm going to go to Seahawks here because 49ers are a bit of a downward trend. Jags Bears.
I got
Jags.
Bears, I think.
Ooh. I'm going Jags.
Bears.
Bucks Saints.
I'll take Tampa.
I'm going to go to Saints here. Commanders Ravens.
Take the Ravens.
Ravens.
I'm going to go to the Ravens as well. Packers Cardinals.
Packers.
I'll take Arizona.
Take the Packers. Colts Titans.
Take Colts.
Yeah, I got Indy.
I'm take the Colts as well. Texans Patriots.
Yeah,
Texans. Texans.
They're at Patriots.
Yeah, let's still take Houston.
I'm going to take the Patriots here. Upset.
Texans.
Browns Eagles.
Browns.
Philly.
I'm going to take the Eagles here. Chargers Broncos.
Chargers.
I got LA.
I
Chargers.
take Chargers. Steelers Raiders.
Take Steelers.
Yeah, I'll take Pittsburgh.
I'm going to take the Raiders here. Falcons Panthers.
Atlanta.
Taking Falcons.
Take the Falcons as well. Lions Cowboys.
Taking Cowboys.
I mean, Detroit.
I'm going to take the Lions. This is their revenge game. Bengals Giants.
Taking the Bengals.
I'll take the Bengals. And if they lose this game, their season's over.
I'm going to take the Giants here. Bills Jets.
I'll take the Bills. I was
Take the Bills.
absolutely wrong about the Jets. I'm sorry. They're not winning that division. The Bills got it.
Taking the Bills. Taking the Bills.
I'm going to take the Bills here as well. But all right, let's change the temperature a little bit. Let's talk about some hot takes. All right, the first one I got for you guys is Marvin Harrison is going to win Rookie of the Year.
I don't think it's really a hot take anymore. I think it's really. You said Marvin Harrison?
Marvin
Oh
Harrison.
my God! No, that's impossible. I don't know.
I think Jaden Daniels has that gift wrapped, but that's in his pocket. They're chiseling the award right now and putting his name on.
Yeah, it's literally it has Jaden Daniels' name on it already. What's the next one?
You guys think so? You don't think there's anything Marvin Harrison Jr. can do to win this? Listen, it's only been
I'm
5-6
allowed to be
games.
wrong. Yeah,
So
I'm
wait.
allowed to be wrong.
If Jaden Daniels was to lose every game from this point on, he still wins Rookie of the Year?
If KD's foot wasn't on the line, the Nets win the championship. We can put an if game about everything.
Yeah, I think he still wins.
Okay. All right. The second one I got for you guys is Lions will be the number 1 seed in the NFC.
Nah, they're gonna lose too many games. I think at some point it's gonna be too hard to catch up to the Vikings.
I think it's too early to tell, but I think it's in the realm of a possibility.
Okay. The last one I got for you guys is the Vikings will get eliminated in the wild card round.
Yes.
They get the first round bye. They won't even be in the wild card round.
Even if they get the first round bye, they lose in the divisional. They're winning that. I will stand on that.
I don't think so. I think it would be Vikings Cowboys championship. Need somebody to clip this just in case it happens.
Okay. Change the temperature for us, Dan. Let's get into some of these cold facts. Talk to us.
So last Thursday, the Bucs played the Falcons, and Mike Evans became one of 3 non-kickers to be the all-time leading scorer for their franchise. He joins Jerry Rice and Emmitt Smith as the only 2 non-kickers to lead their franchise in scoring, being the Cowboys and the 49ers the 49ers and the Cowboys for Jerry and Emmitt. So I think that's crazy.
No, that's definitely crazy. Didn't Mike Evans also kick a field goal?
He has.
Oh, that's news to me. Look at that.
All right, what else you got?
The Commanders are the first team since the 1970 merger to score 150-plus points in their first 5 games of the season while starting a rookie QB. In other words, they've averaged over 30 points over their first 5 games with a rookie. And this is the first time that's happened in over 50 years.
Okay,
JD,
okay.
bro.
Who was the last QB?
I would have to go back and look. So, someone in 1970.
All right, bet. All right. What's the last one you got for us?
Well, I got a question, actually. If you had 202 catches, right, don't you think you would score a touchdown at some point?
Facts.
Well, Josh Jacobs has never scored a receiving touchdown, and he has 202 receptions. It's the most receptions in NFL history without a receiving touchdown. I think that's absolutely bananas.
Dang, jeez, that's crazy.
I caught 202 passes and never got on the box.
That's insanity.
Hey, listen, Josh Jacobs is a stellar player, but ultimately, it might just be because of the teams he was on. What he was on the Raiders?
Yeah.
And then what else? What team was he on before that?
No, he was a Raider, and this is his first season with the Packers.
Okay. And then to conclude with, right? I got a question for you guys. Do you guys think that Eli Manning deserves to be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
I'm a Manning. I beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl, and I had 2 of the greatest playoff runs ever.
I think that's all you need. I think all you need is beat the Brady. And too many people beat Brady.
I beat the greatest team assembled in the Super Bowl.
Only other person that can say they beat Brady in Super Bowl.
Nick Foles.
Nick Foles, bro. Nobody else.
Wait.
That's it.
Eli and Nick. Yeah.
Eli and Nick. That's it.
Let's not discount those guys in the AFC who beat Tom Brady along the way to get to the Super Bowl. I think that
we talking about the dance, yo. We don't care about Flacco. We don't care about.
What do you mean we don't care about Flacco? What do you mean we don't care about Flacco?
We talking
Flacco,
about
Ben,
Roethlisberger. We talking about the
Roethlisberger.
QBs who beat him at the dance.
First of all, we're talking about Eli Manning. Wait, so no one asks about Joe Flacco right now.
We'll talk about Joe Flacco in the future. Don't worry.
Facts.
But ultimately, Eli Manning, to counter y'all's point, he's 500 in his career. Whenever he wasn't playing Tom Brady, he was lackluster. After he won that second Super Bowl, maybe if he had retired right there, that's like the cherry on top for a Hall of Fame career. But he stayed, he kept playing. Yes, he played for a long time. He was a journeyman, but he didn't do anything.
You said he was a journeyman?
He was a journeyman. You said what?
He literally only played for the Giants.
No, I'm saying he was a journeyman in terms of longevity. He played through injury. He just kept playing.
Oh,
he was an Iron Man.
Iron Man more. That's better.
Don't use that term no more. Journeyman. Let's do that.
I mean,
Goes
he has a
everywhere and
number
play.
of records. He has the third most consecutive starts in NFL history. He has the most consecutive completions in the Super Bowl. Most passing yards in the playoff run. Like, I don't even like Eli Manning, and I think he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, but thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Fever Pitch podcast. We have a lot more in store for you guys. You can expect episodes from us weekly on Wednesdays. But with that being said, I'm Brian.
Yeah.
Peace.
I bet. Peace. You guys have a good one.